Springtime, Susquehanna River, smallmouth. What a combination. I'm here today on the Susquehanna River with Bill Kramer, one of the top guides on the river, and we're out here for some smallmouths. We're going to be fishing, what are we going to be fishing here, Bill?
We're mainly looking for current breaks that are holding fish. We've had a real weird weather pattern this spring, hot and cold and hot and cold. The fish keep backing off on us. They should be right up behind the grass beds right now. You can see this little grass bed up here. But they've been backing off on us, going back out in the rock ledges and stuff. So we're going to find out what they're doing today. We've had a cold front come through 3 days ago. So we just pretty much got to look around and find them. And when we find them, we'll catch them.
So stay tuned and see if we catch some big fish.
Kids, I want you to listen to this. Guns aren't toys. So if you find a gun, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Tell an adult. See, a real gun is not a toy. So if you find a gun, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Tell an adult. Okay, now, we're going to do this all together one more time. If you find a gun, you leave it alone. Don't touch it. Tell an adult. If you got it? Good.
We're on the river, it's just about the end of April, and we're fishing again for smallmouth. Bill, let's talk about the Susquehanna River and the techniques that you would use up here, springtime fishing. What are we going to be using here now?
I normally start out with jigs and grubs. I'll show you a gitsit that I've been liking lately. It's Catch 'em Gitsit. It's a 4-inch gitsit, tube bait, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I rig a Texas style. This is an owner rigging hook. It's got a real deep bend to it, as you can see. Mm-hmm. And it's got a nice little bend up on top to keep the bait up. Work that around. Just rig it Texas style, go in about 1/8 to 1/2 inch, and bring the hook right back through, okay, and then pinch it. And what it does is it buries that tip in just a little bit, keeps it weedless.
Pretty much weedless.
Yeah, pretty much weedless. I'm using 10-pound test, 6-foot rod. This is a Berkeley lightning stick. It's pretty heavy action. New Garcia reels are real sweet, the new Cardinals, the SM series.
Yeah, they are nice.
Yeah, very sweet. And I just work the baits along nice and easy.
And we're finding little rifts and
little pockets and stuff. They're mainly, like we were talking about earlier, they'll mainly be around these emerging grass beds. It's emergent grass, not submerged grass. Well, you know, it's submerged a little bit, but it comes up through the surface, so you call it emerging grass. And mainly hanging these ledges behind those. We didn't have any luck there early this morning, but these cold front conditions can sometimes kill you. So we're just gonna look around and try to find them. Another thing you can use too are spinner baits. Once you find the fish, use spinner baits and a thing we call a jerk bait, which is like a Rapala type. I use thunder sticks. They're made by Storm Lures. One of the nice things that happened to us here.
But we're fishing the baits real slow though.
Real slow, right on the bottom, creeping along. Let's go ahead and hit another hole here, guys.
Moving to another spot means going over some very, very thin water. Here we're running in about 6 to 8 inches of water. Bill's boat will push us about 20-25 miles an hour, which can be very exciting considering the depth of the water. I had a chance earlier this morning to talk to Bill about his jet drive on his boat.
When you're fishing the shallow water that we're fishing today, you need a special kind of unit here. We have a jet drive. Bill, tell us why we need a jet drive here.
We're going to be going over a lot of places that are 4 to 6 inches deep. This jet boat draws about 3 inches when it's up on plane. It actually has a turbine in it, as you can see the area here, that sucks water up and blows it out the back. We call it a jet drive. You know, they have for all different sizes of outboards, all the way up to 150 horse now. And it's just the deal. You're not shearing pins, you're not shearing props off and stuff. But I mean, still, I mean, as you can see, we've cracked our jet here. That's from, you know, hitting rocks out here. The water's so darn low If you tried to get around out here with a prop, you really couldn't, especially going through the ledges that are out here. They have like basalt ledges that come across the river, and you just can't get across them with a prop unless you really know what you're doing.
Right, so this is going to get us to the places that we want to and get to the fishing.
That's right.
Because it's pretty interesting, because there's no prop here, nothing. We're just going to skim right across the top.
Right,
of the water.
it's actually a little turbine. It's pretty
Okay,
cool.
and if you want to fish this kind of water, you have to have something like this.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Big fish.
And I think you got me too.
Big smallie on a jerkbait. Yes, sir. There she is. Come here, sweetheart. Oh, nice fish. Got to keep her away from the boat.
You got me in there too, Bill, so watch it.
I see. There you go. On a jerkbait.
Got out?
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to move to jerkbait.
Yeah. Nice big smallmouth. Look how wide she is. She's nice and fat here. Nice smallmouth. Need a pair of pliers. Now that's the Susquehanna smallmouth. A little bit bigger than the average size, but that's a good smallie. I'll take this anytime.
Nice.
She just whacked that jerkbait, man. This is a Storm Thunder Stick I'm throwing. It's got some real nice rattles in it. Get a little bit of rattle noise to it. Has a prism flash to it. Makes it real nice. That's a nice smallmouth. Go get another one. Cast right up into the shallow water. The water's real shallow up in there. I was twitching along real slow.
Yeah, you let that set there, didn't you?
Boy, she took that. She tried to take that thing away from me. Man, I get them hitting jerkbaits. This is all I'm going to throw.
Sounds good to me. Huh?
This and a spinnerbait.
That's my favorite. I love throwing them spinnerbaits.
I got some spinnerbaits for you, man. Let me tell you. We got a spinnerbait that we make up. It is just the deal. Smallmouth that size, it might be the only one in this hole. But you never know. Oops. Big smallmouth. Nice smallmouth, man. Boy, I love that.
So how long you been guiding up here now?
This is my 4th year guiding up here. I've been actually guiding since 1987, but this is my 4th season up here. I didn't know this place existed up here until a buddy of mine showed it to me. And I tell you what, it is some of the best smallmouth fishing in the region. It is excellent smallmouth fishing. And we should be able to see some of that today. Haven't seen any beds up here yet. Normally there's a lot of fish sitting on beds already. The next full moon is going to be a major spawn for these fish.
Oh, yeah. We're just talking about the phases of the moon.
Next full moon will definitely be a major spawn. The water's so clear when you get up on the holes, you can usually see them running around in the holes too, spooking around and stuff. And it just hasn't been like that. I don't see any. I don't see any nests at all, none. Something that looks like a nest here, but I doubt it is. I'll pop out a spinnerbait here in a minute too. The water's clear enough for me to eat spinnerbait. That looks like a nest there. I doubt it is though, but it looks like one. You see the difference in the soil color there. It looks
Yeah.
like some buck was possibly building a nest in there. I mean, they might, as warm as it was the last couple of weeks, they probably did come up and start building nests. There's a nice smallmouth right there. Just took off.
Was there?
Yep, just took off. There goes another one.
Good.
They're around, guys. That's good. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, it warms up just to get that sun on this water a little bit.
I mean, I'm real glad to see that. That's good. Yeah, I use 10, 12, and 14. I'm using that white stuff. All the folks up north seem to think you need real light line. You don't.
Well, now the fish that I caught on Saturday, I caught them on, I think it was like 12-pound test.
Right. So you don't, I mean,
Yeah.
where that, the light line idea comes from for smallmouth is fishing ultra clear water like up in Canada.
Yeah.
Then you need that light line, clear line, or green. I can't see green anymore. I've gotten too old to be able to see it.
But I have a hard time seeing it.
Yeah, so I use clear myself. It's still a low visibility line.
Yeah. Oh, I like clear.
You know, I mean, but I can see the darn stuff. I can't see the green. Yeah, decent fish. Had one following it too. Nice fish. Give me a sweet one. Purdy fish. See ya. Wouldn't want to be you. Come right off the edge of that current too.
Yeah.
Not where she's supposed to be.
There's some fish in there.
Yeah, there is. You had that one good one on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decent fish, yeah. I mean, I felt him thumping. Ah, thunderstick. Nice fish. Decent little hole here.
Yeah.
Just twitch them along nice and slow. Get a rhythm into the jerkbait. I'm using a rod tip up action. And just nice and slow, but I'm putting a rhythm on it, and they are just hitting it. The reason I'm using rod tip up is because it's so shallow in here. If you use rod tip down, you're going to do nothing but dig the bottom. Sometimes they want it like that, though. And stop a lot.
Now, did that one hit on the stop, or? Was
Definitely hit on the stop. I had didn't have a real slack line. I felt him come on the bait. I mean, slam that bait. I mean, ran right into it. Ooh,
Fish jump out.
nice fish right there.
Oh,
It's one of those bugle lips. Big old carp. That's amazing, man. It would. Oh, there's another one. It would not. It would not hit a spinnerbait in here, but they'll hit the darn jerkbait. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, man. Modded jerkbait. Modded powerful jerkbait there. They are just eating the tar out of that thing. Right on the edge of the current, too. Every bite I've had has been right on the edge. But I'm casting way up into the hole first off. And hitting, see right where that current edge is? Every hit I've had has been right there. But, I mean, that's why we got up here for smallies. It's just one of the best smallmouth fisheries in the region, man.
Yeah.
You got to go to Canada really to beat this place. And Lake Erie's awesome, and Winnipesaukee awesome too. I would put all three of these places in the same class. They're all great fisheries. But you know, close to home, this place is killer. Not that many people know about it.
No, they overlook a lot of the water that we have right in this area. You think?
Oh, they really do. They think you got to drive, you know,
Yeah.
miles and miles away. Yeah, you ain't lying. Go to 1,000 Islands or something.
Right.
Nah.
Well, I often say that. I drive, if I go to 1,000 Islands, I just left my back door. I said, why do I have to drive 7 hours to have the same type of fishing that I have right at my back door?
You don't have to. That's, you know, you got this place, and you got the Potomac River. I mean, if you want largemouth or smallmouth. And there's some real good muskies in here. I hope we catch one today. And they're just hit or miss, though. I
Yeah,
mean, they're just,
that's just the cruising.
yeah, You got to have a bit of golden horseshoe with you to fish those guys. And we caught, like I said, we had 6 last year. That's right where I want to be. Oh, Mr. Fish.
Kids, I want you to listen to this. Guns aren't toys. If you find a gun, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Tell an adult. A real gun is not a toy. If you find a gun, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Tell an adult. Okay, all together one more time. If you find a gun, leave it alone. Don't touch it. Tell an adult. Got it? Good.
Big grass bed there. Oh, there's one. I got one.
I get doubles here.
Yeah, freaking double. Finally. All right, mine's bigger than yours, though. See, mine's bigger. That's a nice fish you got on there. Look, see, mine's bigger.
Yeah.
About 5 years. Good fish.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice
Ooh, that's
fish.
a nice fish there.
Yeah, it is. But mine's still bigger. In 5 years.
In 5 years.
Good fish, man. That's a quality fish there, buddy.
Yeah, that was a nice fish.
It's quality. Get away! Oh! Did you hear the motor? Did you hear the motor?
He went over top of it.
I thought for sure my line was going to go. I don't see any scars on them. I heard the boom.
Yeah, that fish, he missed the bait and then came back on it.
Yeah, and then hit my trolling motor. Nice fish. Sweetheart. Take those all day long. I just want to check my line here real quick. Feels good. Now we're sitting here calling these peewees, and on the Potomac River, on the upper river, way up, this would be a nice fish. Different strain of fish up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. These are Erie strain smallies. They grow quicker and they grow bigger. And on the Potomac and Rappahannock and the James, you have Ohio strains. They don't grow nearly as fast. They will grow as big, but they just don't grow nearly as fast as the Erie strains do. Here in Thousand Islands, Lake Erie, they're all Erie strain smallies. There's another one. Working
right
real slow. Now we got ourselves a batch of peewees here.
Yeah.
Little guy.
Yeah, I think we took the bigger fish out of that.
There's got to be some better ones in there. Little guy. Yeah. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Oh. That's a good one. Best fish I've had on all day.
All right.
Run into the boat, run into the boat. Ooh, nice fish. Acting like the best fish I had on all day, let's put it that way. Good smallmouth. Nice brute.
Yeah, it's got some weight on it.
Yeah, she does have some weight on her. Oh, nice fish.
There you go, that's a nice fish.
I'm pushing 3. Real thick through the midsection here. That's a
Yeah, they
good
get a lot of
a lot of muscle.
solid. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, the river
solid,
smallies.
yeah.
That's why. I mean, she's real thick through here. You know. Some boys say good fillets off of that one, but not me.
That's for sure.
Nice fish, man. Gorgeous fish. Go ahead, cut me off.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't
It's
even
all right.
see that
You missed the hole anyhow.
I know.
Right off the edge of that grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was your turn to catch one of the little ones.
Yeah.
That's a nice smallmouth, and that's a little one.
Yeah. Look how fat that fish is. You
Yeah,
see the
been
belly
eating
on
good.
that, Mike? Look at the belly. That is unbelievable. That fish is just ready. All right,
Yeah,
go back
ready
and
to
make some
spawn.
little ones. Yeah, it was right on that edge of that grass bed there.
Yep. Little current break there. I mean, to see current eddying, current rolling over it, to get down on that little ledge, you got plenty of current break.
Bill and I took a minute to discuss some of the tackle that we were using today.
Okay, we're going to go over some of the baits that we used today. Bill, let's start out with, start out with one of your spinner baits there.
Spinner baits?
Yeah.
This is spinner baits are excellent baits up here. We like a lot of flash off of them. Tandem willow leaf, either in the nickel, gold, or even in a tandem chartreuse. Now, we didn't catch a lot of fish on these today, but they do work. They seem to want that jerk bait a lot.
Yeah, today, but this is a good bait to use up here anyway.
Excellent bait to use up here, absolutely. Always bring, if they're on spinner baits, always bring about a dozen of them with you. They'll break them.
Right, because we saw that you could lose some on some nice fish today.
That's right.
Okay, now these are what, about 3/8 ounce too,
yeah,
right?
I use 3/8 ounce and a half ounce, and like I said, the tandem willows definitely seem to be the deal.
Yeah, they ride up.
A lot of chartreuse in your skirt with a chartreuse trailer seems to help. Sometimes the chartreuse blades, when it's a little dingier, work excellently. I mean, I've seen the chartreuse blades outperform nickel or gold blades many a time up here for smallmouth.
Okay, let's go into the jig section we have.
Jigs, little hair jigs, little living rubber jigs. This is that's actually 1/8 of an ounce. Pork frog trailer, or the new Zoom baits, the new Zoom, what the heck they call salt trailers. Yeah, salt trailers. Right.
Yeah.
They've been working real good. I've been using those. Normally like black and chartreuse, black and blue, straight brown, black and red works real good up here also.
Now this is what, about a 1/4 ounce?
That's about an
1/8 ounce here?
Yeah, that's about an 1/8. We also use Gitsits. This is a power tube, mainly in pumpkin chartreuse. We do use June bug. The darker colors seem to work better.
More of the crayfish type.
Crawdad colors, absolutely. That's another, that's a little grub that we throw also. It's pumpkin with chartreuse tail.
Chartreuse tail. Now, I haven't seen this one in a while, this tail here.
Yeah, it's nice bait. It also works good for a spinnerbait trailer, too.
Yeah, it's about 3-4 inch.
Yeah, it's about a 4. We use 4 and 5 inch grubs up here.
Yeah, bigger than what we would use like on the Delaware. I mean,
right,
we're using
we use 4 and 5 inch stuff. Kalins work real good. There's a company out called Ketchum that puts out a real nice grub and real nice gitch. That's who I use, is their stuff.
And now, you fish those basically the same way, though, we're doing, around the grass beds and in the deeper pockets.
Right, you want eddy water, man. Eddying water is the deal. Anywhere you have slack water, like around the tips of the islands, the grass beds, when the grass gets up, boy, they get on it. Just as we found out today, we caught 90% of our fish today off the
grass beds.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to the
jerk bait.
Yeah, the top waters.
No, top waters. Okay. This is a bait that came out last year. This is called a chug bug. It's by Storm. Got a real loud rattle in it. Actually has 2 different sizes of rattles in it, big and small. And they're a lot larger than you would normally use for smallmouth. But I tell you what, we just tear them up. And we're going to start throwing these a little bit later on.
A little bit later on.
Yeah, and they tear these things up. These and Zara spooks are excellent. Of course, your little popwires work good, but I seem to catch bigger fish on a little bit bigger bait.
On a little bigger bait.
Yeah, this is almost twice the size of a regular popwire.
Yeah, now I would say that I would be using about maybe half that size bait. Right. Really.
Here, let me show you this one bait I throw up in Canada. A lot of folks won't even throw it. This is a Zara spook. Now look at the size of that compared to that one.
Right, look at that.
And I tell you what, this bait produces some enormous smallies.
Some big fish.
Enormous smallies. And that's the regular size popwire there. Like we were saying, it's half the size of the chug bug. But the chug bug has been producing excellent for us up here. It makes a lot more noise than a popwire does, and it has a lot louder rattles in it than the popwire does. So it seems to produce really
the noise is really
fish are very curious to what they're eating, in their area. They're real curious, and the rattles will draw them big time. This is what we caught the majority of our fish on today.
Okay, now this lure here we did catch tons of fish on this.
Right,
one here.
That's a Storm Thunderstick. This is a chartreuse. This is a chrome insert. It's got an orange belly on it. They also come in chartreuse. That one's real good. And this is a bleeding shad. I like all 3 of those colors for smallmouth up here.
And these 2 produced a lot. I know that.
Right, we didn't throw the chartreuse one too much today. I like that in darker water though. But I tell you what, that chrome insert is definitely the deal. Plus it suspends real good. Let me show you one little trick. What these are is they're little pieces of lead with adhesive on the back. Now the chrome inserts, they don't really need the suspend strips on them. But what you can do is you can add a little bit of weight to the belly of your jerkbait. That way it doesn't rise up so fast.
So it just
suspends a little bit. You can actually make it neutral buoyant, or you can put enough on it to make it sink.
Sink.
Right. Now, the fish really want the bait coming up slow here. You twitch it along, and you really want to rhythm your bait, so you twitch it, and you stop. And bait will start to rise up real slow. And if it rises up real fast, they won't hit it.
So this will
make them rise a little bit slower. But like I was saying, the chrome inserts, you don't need it. But on this one, you do need a couple of strips on it. Just to make it suspend a little bit better. Right. Nice. Make it because it comes over too fast, just like what you just said.
Okay, well, thanks, Bill, and that's some tips for this week's edition of the Tackle Box.
Good fish, too.
Yeah.
Nice smallie. Just sitting there, she hit it. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
It was right up in there, wasn't she?
Yeah.
That's a beauty fish.
Good one.
Susquehanna River, springtime, smallmouth. Fishing with my good friend, Bill Kramer. Bill, wonderful
Thank you.
day, big fish. How can we get in touch with you, Bill?
I run a company called Potomac Guide Service. We operate out of a town called Gaithersburg, Maryland. My phone number is 301-840-9521. And we can fish up here year-round, except when it freezes over. I don't do any ice fishing.
Bill, I want to thank you again for a great day.
All right, thank you.
Some good fishing. And we'll see you next week on Delaware Valley Outdoors.
Cool.
All right, now let's get some big fish. Pressure's off.